Look, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of crushing my balls here right now.
Well, on that note, what's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kami here with...
Krillika Cave.
And...
Donbrothers can hurt you. It can make you crush your balls.
Yes, it's a ball buster.
Oh, very much. Whoa.
Especially if you're using that mace that Yellow and Sonoroke uses.
I'm just going to call him Baby Tosser.
Oh my god.
Because that's what he
horrible
is.
Human being.
Well, he's not a human being. He's still horrible.
So we're talking about episodes 47 and 48 of
Donbrothers.
Oh, sorry. Donbrothers. Oh, wait, I gotta shake this hand.
Anytime I need a smile in the day, I will listen to that opening song. It is super hella catchy, and I love it.
Especially that part where they say it's do or die, so let's go.
But it's such a good song. These episodes were highly entertaining.
But also highly debated. Well, in fact, I would argue the first half of the 47 was mostly a debate. So I could agree with Taro when he was saying, I'm getting bored.
But I do have to say, knowing that the dad, the surrogate father, can come and go out of jail as he pleases.
I told you it was like Arkham.
Okay. Basically, during this debate, when they ask the question, Sonoy, how did you get into the bestial forest? Rather than him answering, you have Dad just pop out of nowhere and say, I can answer that question. And it's like, what?
Meanwhile, Taro's like, my father will have this kind of tea. I know exactly how he likes it. This will be the limit of my affection. 1.
Okay, to be
3.
truthfully realistic, that is Marcus and his family.
We're going with real names now. Kelly Sisson, whose social security.
Ow!
Wow.
You don't even know my social.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Nope. 0.
What?
Well, all I know is that
4. 7.
You don't even know my social.
5.
all I know is that we got
6,
to the violent part of this review far sooner
4,
than I thought.
3.
Okay.
Making tonight's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 7, 5.
Also, not to plug an actual, but she threw her maid at me. Paper maid.
But, so, what I was trying to say is kaiju, which most people end up knowing his real name anyways. I could go with yours, the whitest name in America.
That's our Prepper McPrepperton III.
Trust me, when I say it's the whitest name in America for his actual name, it's really white.
As I have cultivated this. I keep telling everyone, mayonnaise on Wonder Bread being eaten by a polar bear in a blizzard. That is my level of whiteness.
Who then turns into a ghost.
We'll see about that part.
But it's really white. Nevertheless, kaiju, his level of familial affection is Taro and his adopted father. I bet their communication style is very similar to Kaiju's family. To get on a very sad note, 3 people in his family died in the last couple of years, and he found out months after.
Does your family at least make eye contact? I don't think Taro and his dad did.
No, they don't.
How?
Taro and his dad
You can't make eye contact over a phone.
Just wait. If you go to Buffalo with us, because i.e. we are originally from Buffalo, the coldest place on earth.
Hell?
Yes. But if you go, you get to see the lack of affection. It's quite daunting.
Hey.
Way to pitch the trip.
Wait, why would we be going to Buffalo?
Come to scenic Buffalo to watch emotional damage and family distancing.
Ooh, now I'm just thinking of that video, emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Okay, but nevertheless, to get back to the
I get that
episode.
now.
Come to Buffalo, apparently. And that's no bull.
Exactly. But anyways, back on track. I did like how the fact that Father Dearest sees Kaito and he's
Hold on.
like,
Hold on.
Research shows this
Hold on a
can
minute.
help you remember
that's a
ads.
commercial.
So
Come
customers
on.
can liberty-
Stupid
This
ass.
is exciting.
Uh.
We get to see a Liberty Mutual ad while
Emotional
recording.
damage.
Yeah, see, I would have muted my phone, set it up, had the pause, but
Emotional damage.
this is why I should be the one wielding the smartphone.
Well, I said the next phone we get for him is going to be a flip phone. But,
No. That's totally emotional damage.
What if it be a flip you off phone? You could have like the back. We make the screensaver someone flipping him off, and he can't change it.
Oh, that would be brilliant. The problem is, if it went off in school,
Well,
and
then
the
it'd be-
screensaver was somebody flipping him off,
Well, then you ask, why are you looking at another person's phone? Intrusive?
Actually, I do keep my phone sometimes on my computer so that I can have things on there while I'm teaching lessons.
I learned more about his teaching in these videos than I do over dinner conversations.
You never ask!
he does!
I ask you multiple times.
He asks you all the time!
So how was school? Fine.
Well, you don't ask when
God.
actually stuff happens. Like the one day when we went to see Shin Ultraman, there was actually stuff I could have talked about, but you never asked, therefore I never said anything.
Good God, man, you can always say something. Here's a circle of trust. Is this how the conversations with your family go? How's Colorado? Fine. How's Buffalo? Cold.
Actually, yes!
Oh, God.
I hate to break it to you. But yes!
I mean, it's like, is the emotional moment, we like you, whatever.
Yes!
God. Okay, I'm learning far too much about my co-hosts.
Okay, let me just
Co-host,
pause.
you're the guest star, technically.
You keep telling
Pause.
yourself that.
Pause here. We have been friends for well over a decade now.
See,
And you're just now figuring out that he has the emotional range of a teaspoon?
I thought I would finally...
You know that you can really have a lot of emotion coming out of a teaspoon, right? Though, based on the way the light reflects on it, if you bend it, if you curve it, if you tilt it.
Okay, then fine. You have the emotional range of a non-reflective plastic spoon.
But then you can kind of melt it
Oh
into...
my God! You get the point in the analogy, right?
Well, to bring the kind of... I thought I was getting past his hard candy surface to get to the gooey center of emotion, only I find out that dried up and drifted away like ages ago.
I could have told you that.
But you never do!
Okay, this is why you two are not in a relationship of any sort outside of friends, because...
Well,
But
and
What were
other
you-
things.
where you hope... What other thing? Am I not good enough for you?
Sorry, you got a little too much between the legs to really do anything for me.
As I was crushing them earlier. Don't you want me, kaiju? Don't you
Sorry,
want me?
I don't swing.
Oh my God,
Sorry, I don't
I'm
swing that
actually
way.
gonna talk about the show.
Not that anyone, not people can love whoever they want, but that's not for me.
Oh my God, help me! I want to talk about Donbrothers.
Okay, so
Okay.
we've got our little debate going on, and then
Here or there?
and then the father sees Kaito's like, oh, the true hero. I'm so graced by your presence. He kneels to him.
And everybody is like, true hero.
Yeah, apparently the Donbrothers don't rank.
But here's the question though. Is he Zenkaiser or is he God?
Well, it depends. I mean, if he's calling him the true hero, he's the true hero because he saved the multiverse from those bad guys that took over the multiverse. What were their names again?
Nobody, because it was the god. The literal deus ex machina.
But he'd be the true hero because he saved the multiverse.
And what were you gonna say?
No, just that he was saved the universe from an evil god.
Which we never saw, because it happened off-screen at the end of the series.
But it's so funny how it kind of set the stage for Donbrothers. I mean, I feel like we're appreciating Donbrothers now because it's zigging, whereas Zenkaiger zagged.
Well, because we're at
Zag.
the tail end of the series, and
We still haven't had an actual true roll call.
well, we haven't had a true roll call, which I was disappointed on for episode 48, which he was about to take away from me because he's Judas. But anyways, we also, if you think about it, we haven't actually had a true villain either. And that was the one thing I thought that was hilarious in episode 47. Because, well, you have Kijino, who's like super like, don't bring your romantic issues in here, because it's the crotchety old man. But when Dad is like, well, if you notice on the team, there's an Oni who is the actual villain of the Momotaro story, which I remember when we first started watching the series, you had talked about that.
Briefly, yeah, it's just a little summary.
There were 3 Onis that he fought.
But
Well, there was an army of Onis, but he captured one.
But I like how she's then, and he's like, well, you know what that means? She's like, wait, am I the last boss? It's like, no. But I enjoyed it a lot. I will say the debate was taking a long time.
Oh, I thought it was perfect though, because you have all this stuff going on with our 3 other villains, and then they come in like, you do know we've been attacking the city, right? And you're just here chatting?
And we're left to wonder where all the people these new cerebrums are chucking into doorways, where these folks are ending up. Especially the baby.
The baby, okay. At least, if nothing else, the people and the baby have groceries to eat from the little old lady. But I'm kidding. I'm still, all right.
You're still scaring me.
No, it still was ridiculous because he's walking upstairs to help this old lady, throws her groceries into this door, and then he sees, this is an old baby carriage, let me help. And the 2 of us, because once again, no emotional range, we're staring, we're being very visceral, like no.
Okay.
Very vocal, and then you hear the baby start to cry as it's going down the stairs. I'm like, oh my god, you are now the ultimate villain.
Okay, well, a couple things first. One, for that trio, I loved how the other 2 would peek over and be like, yeah, they're like that. That's why we only work with them because we have to.
Otherwise, I keep my distance.
Yeah, none of them like each other.
And then
there are some workplaces with that environment.
Mm-hmm.
But then I love when Sonoza brings up the Kijino, like when Kijino's getting all mad, like, we can't do that. Your spits only work in 3s.
Oh, now, speaking of Kijino, I've seen people on Twitter saying how much they don't like him as Pink because of this dark streak. He's nasty. Or today he's an angry old man because he's super jealous of all things romantic. I like Kijino specifically because this wimpy exterior covers, hard candy shell, but is a pulsing, gooey center of anger, which makes him so interesting to watch.
Well,
He's the most realistic.
Well, I love one guy's comment was, you all were complaining that the Sentai characters weren't being treated with character development and actually being written well, and now that we have a character that's well written, has character development, is realistic, you don't like him.
Yeah.
Because
was he saying that to us or to the general?
Just general audience.
Because my 2 favorite characters of the show legitimately are Tsuyoshi or Kijino and Haruka. Because while all the characters are fleshed out, even our 3 Cerebrums, and I feel like the other additional 3 through these 2-parter got their own development as well, because once again, this show knows how to develop its characters. Inoue is proving when he is on it, he is committed all the way. And I like Haruka because of the fact that she technically is the main character of the show, and it's so fascinating.
Our point of view character.
And with Kijino, he really is realistic. It reminds me, oh god, I always mess these up because you have King-Ohger and Q-Ranger, not Q-Ranger, is it?
Yeah, there's Q Ranger.
With the dinosaurs.
Oh,
Ryu Soldier.
King-Ohger.
There's too many Q's. Stop with the Q's. But with
Get some A's.
With King-Ohger, when you had Blue, because you love Blue, because he did puns, but he was also one of the few characters in a show who was much older in age from the rest of the team.
He was my spirit animal.
30.
He was, yeah.
Just like Kijino is 30.
So when you have, even though he's still younger than us, bastard, but still having an older character kind of be that connector for the older audiences that may have been Sentai fans for decades, may just be now introduced to it. It's nice to have that older character that you can grasp onto, and when it's well written and entertaining, because you get his mental health, so to speak, you get his introversion, you get his lack of confidence, sometimes you get his significant amounts of confidence, and you get him being a real person.
And this episode you get him finally facing the truth. He married a bestial with one trippy flashback.
Well, I liked how he's like, nope, you're lying, and then they're like, Taro can't lie. He's like, oh, yeah.
And then when we get into 48...
Well, and then we also have, when we find out that Tsubasa used all his...
Oh, yeah, all
or
of
not
his
Tsubasa.
points. Yeah, it was Tsubasa.
Used all of his points to save Sonona, which now makes him a fugitive again.
For reasons. Although, the best graphics in this two-parter was arigato.
As like a hug.
Heart and warmth. and it goes to Tsubasa, chill.
And he just turns and like, nope. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's the way it should be
Shipping
done.
denied.
I like how she stands up and turns to the wall to like stand in the corner.
She now knows the true pain of love. Honestly, she's going to go down the route of the last unicorn at this rate.
What's that?
Kind of tragic love, bittersweet, but she has a soul as a result.
But then we also learned that Natsumi was still like...
Well, that's in 48.
Yeah, but she was conscious of what the bestial was doing under the name Miho.
Dreaming. But does that mean she remembers Kijino's kiss? Because that kiss from his flashback, I would run from that.
That was terrifying.
That looked more like he was trying to suck out her soul than anything.
But, well, the comment that was made of, well, you knew I always wanted to be a beautician, and when he was thinking of that, he's like, well, does that mean the bestial was acting out her true thoughts and her true feelings? And seeing in episode 48 when Natsumi and Tsubasa were together, it's like they were happy when they were just sitting there, but the moment you put anything in the way of it, like with him being chased by the police and seeing the fugitive, you could see how fragile their relationship really is.
Well, I can't blame her for being confused and wanting some answers.
Absolutely.
Though, is she aware of how much time has passed since she slept?
Well, there's that, but it also makes me wonder how much time were they actually together? Because, and this is not a knock against relationships. I've seen some...
They were together for a week, and then she was pulled away.
Well...
Wait, no, this is Japan, so we really have to ask, did they have lunch together?
But in all reality, I've seen some relationships where I don't believe in love at first sight. That's
Oh my god,
silly.
what was it we were just watching? What movie was it? Where like the couple got married, that they met each other like 3 days and they decided to get married?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh,
You know,
what?
Malcolm X?
No, it was a black and white movie. We just watched
He actually did marry his wife, proposed to her over telephone after one date. He was that sure.
Well, there are people, I don't believe in it, but I know there are people who find love fairly quickly. But there's always that fear of fragility if you don't have good communication.
Maybe 3 days, because Are you sure that wasn't the Manchurian Candidate?
No, I know that one too, but I was going to bring that up. But there was another movie we had just watched where it was like, wait, what? Or maybe it was a Night Gallery episode.
Possibly.
Or what about that Hitchcock movie of where the old lady is a spy and they're all on the train together?
No, it wasn't that.
Okay, well, we'll pursue that.
Yeah, let's
Maybe it
pursue
was.
that.
We've already derailed with our relationship problems with each other.
I don't have any relationship problems. I knew what I was
Oh.
getting into after years, and I have a very strong relationship with you, my dear second husband.
As you call me Judas, because it's true. As the Cerebrum good guys and the Donbrothers were all doing a uniform transformation, and the villains had done their introductions, I positioned myself to cover Cruella Kazai's, just in case there was a group roll call. And
There wasn't.
I feel like she's about to throw something at me.
No.
I will say, right,
She's throwing hatred my way.
I do have to say, I think the weakest part of the show is how they resolve Jiro's two personalities.
Oh yes, that was the quick. It almost felt like, hey, let's end this arc, okay? Okay.
Hey, we've only got 2 episodes left after this. We kind of need to resolve this now.
See, I was okay with it. Like, I understand where you're coming
No,
from.
I have no problem with it, but I feel that is probably the weakest aspect of this show.
Jiro's been a hard part to include in all this.
Well, I think this is one of the few shows, while it's fun to have the Sixth Ranger, it feels like the Sixth Ranger wasn't tacked on. I'm not saying that.
Actually, I was going to say, what I do like is it harkens back to the 90s when the Sixth Ranger was more of a character who was there when he was needed and not every episode.
Well, and I like how they kind of make a joke of it as well, in a sad way sometimes, how he doesn't necessarily fit in, because
They started without me.
the only thing that I feel that is really left unanswered that I'm curious about is Murasame
Yeah.
with Mother.
I'm thinking Murasame's going to be the final boss.
I'm thinking Murasame turns out it'll be the blade of... Well, something in the trailer made me wonder. The teaser. I shouldn't speculate lest people haven't seen it.
Well, we get 3 more Cerebrums next week.
I saw 2.
It looked like 3.
I saw...
We'll find out.
So
There are 4 lights!
Suno Nana, Suno Hach, and Suno Q, I think is what I saw.
Oh, no. We already established there are too many Qs.
Yes. Too many Qs.
Maybe some P's with the Qs.
Exactly.
And A's. P's, Q's, and A's.
You always have to mind your P's and Q's.
You crazy.
You're just now realizing.
Wow. Once again, how many years have you been friends with him?
It's like you don't even know me. All our talks.
Q, you can't have Q without you.
Oh, well, Q you too. But I feel like we kind of skipped ahead because there was...
So the Hitotskis were our final 2 Hitotskis, Changeman and Battle Fever.
He was trying to say something. You interrupted him like you always do. Go ahead. Rush.
Sure. Well,
Okay, so
this is how most of our conversations go, to be fair.
hey, at least I'm showing more emotion. You get more out of me when you actually start talking and I interrupt.
It's true. Oh, I never feel so close to you as when you interrupt me. And the violence has begun.
Okay, but what were you going to say, Silver?
Well, just that Saru brother is kind of the main focus is he's the most contentious about this alliance, which is kind of funny. He's usually so aloof and in his own intellectual realm, but this one he really had strong opinions. Also ice cream on his pants.
He kind of deserved it in a way. But at the same time still, I think, kind of like as he mentioned, well, I'm second to Taro. Because typically when it comes to the Ranger formation, it usually does go red, blue, I think green, right?
Well, it depends who the other male ranger is. It depends if it's yellow, green, or black. Depends on, except for actually, it depends because Jude Ranger, the blue, it was red, black, pink, then blue and yellow.
Oh. But most of the series that I'm really familiar with, it's usually blue. Like Gokaiger, for example.
Red, blue, and
then
it jumps depending if yellow is male or female.
Mm-hmm.
And then it could be...
Oh, double standards.
Sadly, yes.
And then it would be green or black, depending which the series has.
Well, if you think about it, Die Ranger... Well, no, not Die Ranger. Kaku Ranger, Time Ranger... I'm trying to remember the other series where technically it should have been the female-led team, but it wasn't.
Oh, well, the Kaku Ranger stands out because Red got all the cool upgrade stuff.
But technically it was supposed to be the White Ranger.
White was the leader.
But she never was treated like the leader when it comes
Yeah, she had to ride in a sidecar on a motorcycle.
Exactly. She didn't get all the bells and whistles that the Red does. And the same thing if you think about it with Time Ranger.
Now,
Time Pink was the leader.
Yeah.
And didn't Schickinger was supposed to be a female
Yes.
Red? But they...
Because the Red
The
Ranger...
Kagamusha?
The Red Ranger was the Kagamusha.
Spoilers.
So he wasn't the real leader.
If we're spoiling that now, both for American and Japanese audiences because of the US version, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Hey, guess what? Aerith died in Final Fantasy VII.
And Roseblood was a slay.
Actually, no, seriously though, I got...
I love how you went way back.
No, seriously, I got modded not too long ago on Game Facts for talking about Aerith's death because it was spoilers.
Spoilers.
But Final Fantasy VII has been out for what? 30 years? I don't know. I don't know when it came out.
Was it the 1990s? 40 years ago?
1990 was 33 years ago.
Right. Final Fantasy VII was 1997.
Okay, so almost 30 years.
I'm just saying that if you're going to say Final Fantasy is
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII's 30 years, that means the 90s was nearly 40 years.
Shut up.
So anyway,
old.
welcome to the dating club, and I don't mean a relationship way.
But
Wow.
overall,
Well, you forgot the most important thing that happened.
I-
Sonoza complimented Haruka.
And then got a job.
all in the same 5-minute span.
I mean, it's rare enough for Haruka to actually be praised in this show. I'm still remembering when she was first introducing herself to everyone and kept getting slapped around. But now her chief is her co-worker. And I love the other two Cerebrum's reaction upon seeing him in uniform.
Okay.
I mean, you think the Donbrothers can't get more dysfunctional, and you're wrong.
I will say the only thing that I would love to have answered from the show, but at the same time I don't want to have answered from the show because it helps with the ridiculousness, is knowing who Master is. If it is Kaito, if it is God, I want to know, but at the same time it's fun not knowing because you could put your own theories there.
I just want to know if it is a computer world or a real world. That's all I want to know. I really just want to know, is it like SSSS Gridman. Where
Wow, you actually gave it the right number of S's?
I
That's
did?
pretty sad, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, very sad.
But
Are you sorry?
Sorry as you'll be.
Wow!
Oh, the threats are flying.
Okay, I think at this point...
No, we didn't talk about the Hitotskis.
Well, they weren't all that interesting.
They weren't. I'm sorry, it was cool. You saw Changeman on Battle Fever J. They were boyfriend and girlfriend that both turned into Hitotskis because the boyfriend has a wandering eye, and then the boyfriend got all depressed because the girlfriend turned into Hitotski, so he turned into Hitotski, and then we had a whole
Well, I think also the
round
fact that she somehow heard his thoughts.
Was that like a 5-man power? Did
What?
any of them have telepathy?
Changeman.
Changeman.
No, I think it was... So, it kind of reminds me of that one meme picture that you see, where you have the boyfriend and girlfriend, and you have this random girl, and the girlfriend is looking at the boyfriend, the guy is looking back at the other chick.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought in that particular moment, that she didn't hear exactly what he was saying. She just alluded to exactly what it was based on his reaction.
Actually, I still love the one meme of the couple in bed. The one woman's like, I bet he's thinking about other women. And he's like, how could the Green Ranger play a flute from his mask when it was just plastic?
Yeah, that's the unbelievable thing in that scenario.
All I'm thinking of is the fact that Snoop Dogg said there's 3 different E's in Mercedes and they're all pronounced differently.
With an hour-long shower.
But, alright.
So, and I'm a little sorry we won't get to know the unified Jiro. Not too well. There's only 2 more episodes left.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be all the big battle.
So he's not like, oh, and also Taro somehow can make their combiner glow gold. G Gundam be ready to sue somebody.
No.
Shining Finger!
And you just got copyrighted by Tomino.
This hand of mine glows with an awesome power. There's a cream for that.
As long as you don't poke out your eye.
Alright, so last thing. Let's talk about the King-Ohger trailer we watched.
Are you sure people are still around?
I don't know.
We should just do a new video.
Somehow I feel like people are getting popcorn just wanting to watch our relationship issues at work.
Alright, King-Ohger. I
have no idea what happened during the trailer because I don't know Japanese fluently.
They were just giving the brief overview of the characters.
Actually, I could track pretty well.
I will say it was nice to see an actual mech suit again.
I think you probably both liked the one chick that looked like a ninja, where she had the coat covering half of her face for the.
Actually, the things are saying it's not.
Wait,
that's not a
she's
lady?
not. She's non-binary.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
Okay,
Well,
now I feel.
No, come on. If you don't know and you don't speak Japanese, it's pretty dang hard.
Oh no, because they're saying that because in Japan they don't have they as a translation. It's only he or she. But from the way I guess the character was described at the press conference it's a non-binary character.
So wait, they don't have the word they in
Technically,
Japanese?
no. When we translate, we have. It's the translator has to find what appropriate version to put in they or them into the translation because they usually either speak as he, she, or third person.
So,
Oh, that's true.
So would they have to just stay to the third person?
So
I guess that would be the only complimentary way to do they them.
from just the basic details of what it sounded like what people were talking about.
But
I don't know if it's 100% true, but that is the little details I was reading that people were talking about for that character.
But with not understanding Japanese and now suddenly knowing that difficulty in translation, you had no way to know. Do not feel guilty.
Well, no, I agree. Yeah, there's no way to know. Like, you can only assume so much. I will say, generally, I go with the pronoun they for people when I don't know.
I was using they and them decades before it was the thing to do, technically.
Yeah. Well, I've always been a little unsure because to me, when I'm writing a paper and they is sort of meant to be this nebulous concept of a person.
Oh, sure.
I almost feel like it's not treating them as a person. Like, is that really okay? I'm unsure.
It seems more okay now because I know where you're going with it, because back in the 80s and 90s, it was more appropriate to go with the he or she because then you did feel that connection. Well, honey, you were so impersonal, it doesn't matter.
Also, we have just gone completely off topic.
But, okay.
Okay, last thing to say, that particular character, I thought of, like, some of the characters that I've seen both of you like. That ninja-esque type character. Well, not just the color, but just the styling of that ninja-esque character that's very mysterious. I know is something that both of you enjoy in a character. That mystery and not being sure.
So that character and the Blue Ranger are the ones I'm looking forward to seeing the most.
Now, as I understand it, each one is a noble from a different district or, well, quite frankly, biome.
Yeah, they're from their own kingdoms.
So each is a leading royal, but they all seem subservient to Red, who is perhaps the emperor?
No, he is... Oh, crap. Let me find the character descriptions.
No, don't mention crap when you're talking about bugs. They're probably feasting on it.
Now, the Black Ranger, I have to say his outfit, when he was showing me pictures... either yesterday or the day before, I can't remember when. All I know is I was half asleep and I was aggravated. I still had to stand up and look at things. But nevertheless, when I saw the picture of what the Black Ranger looked like before costume, because there's so much red in his outfit, I was like, oh, that's the Red Ranger. And he's like, no, that's the Black Ranger. And so... I think that's the one challenge that I have because I'm so used to their outfits being so color geared towards their costume.
So the Black Ranger's Taiwanese.
Oh!
Hey, there we go. But regardless, I see them in this big fantasy world. Mm-hmm. Like, is that only going to last for like 3 episodes?
Yeah, they're going to go to our world. Because that's where the threat leads to.
But if you think about it, look what King-Ohger did when trying to be this world, like this space universe-wide thing.
You mean Q-Ranger.
Q-Ranger, yes. Q-Ranger.
And they mostly got on Earth.
Exactly. They kind of fell with it. So in certain instances, it's probably easier just to go there.
It's budget, I understand. I mean, we joke about Zenkaiger's green screen effects quite often, but they probably had to be that low end to fit the budget.
Well, if you think about it, you had 4 mechs that were always on screen, not mechs, but costumes that were always on screen, regular. Then you had to add the 4 additional costumes, so essentially 8 for those characters. Then you have Kaito's character to have his suit. And he had essentially 3 suits throughout the series. Mm-hmm. Then you had to have, oh God, what the hell is his name?
Oh, the pirate?
The pirate.
Two-Kaiser.
He had 2 costumes. No, 3 costumes, if you think about it.
Yep.
Okay, so was the Red Ranger, Taisei Sakai, is a self-proclaimed ruler of Shugadam. He's an orphan raised in a castle town. The next one, Ato Watanabe, is the Black Ranger, if I recall. He's from the land of technology who worked his way up from the slums. Irakam or Himeno Ran. Oh, I see. Okay, the character names. Gira, the self-proclaimed ruler. Yama Gust. Himeno Ren, who is the queen of Ishibana, the land of arts and medicine, a selfish person who still fights to save others.
As long as it's no Kylo
Rita
Ren.
Kaniski, ruler and chief justice of the frozen land Gokon, stubborn, apparently cold-hearted, and transforms into Papillion. And then Kaguragi Daibalski, the lord of Tofu agriculture land. He is manipulative and a clever speaker.
So wait, is he the big Dybowski?
So, I think the hesitancy I have of King-Ohger right now is I always feel like when we have a really good Sentai series, because if you think about it, Kira Major was fantabulous.
It was a lot of fun.
And I like Zenkaiger. I still, to this day, believe Zenkaiger is my Seinfeld. But comparatively, it was the weaker of the two. Then we come to Donbrothers, which is, as Marcus likes to use the word, I'm going to keep on using your name because it frustrates me when you have no emotional range. He likes to use the word bombastic.
Semi-fantastic, Mr. Lavarova.
But kaiju.
But, oh yeah, that was one other thing I saw on Twitter. Someone complaining that this was a Sentai parody series and they need to go back to being serious. It's like, no, this feels more like the classics you guys have described. I haven't viewed it as a parody at all. It's just not a very different take on the Sentai.
For which one?
For Donbrothers. Now, because the one parody series, which I think you would truly enjoy, Car Ranger.
Car Ranger!
But with Car Ranger, I'm not going to do that.
You're no fun.
It is a true parody of Sentai. But it still, even as a parody, had serious moments. And
better love story than most other shows.
Yes, a very ridiculous love story.
Still better than Twilight.
Much, much better. But I could see where somebody could think of this as having a parody feel, but at the same time, I think treating it as a parody can be a very big disservice to all that they've done, character development and story development and everything like that, because sometimes parodies don't give you all of that.
It's not a parody, it just breaks the tropes.
But, okay, but this King-Ohger looks more serious. I don't know about when they enter the human world. It seems like each one has a attendant.
The only thing I don't like is
I wondered about
how
that too.
it looked like they sucked the color out of it a bit. Like what a lot of American movies do, where they desaturate the color.
Well, as long as they don't make it look like the Snyder Cut, you know. But
watch the Snyder Cut, so yes, I know.
But I'm wondering if these attendants will follow the Rangers to Earth, and if so, are they the support comedy relief characters, or what?
And that's kind of what I'm curious about, because from the initial introductions, even if I don't know the language, I can already tell that blue is going to be super serious, red is going to be very cavalier, black is going to be brash and in your face, yellow is going to be selfish, which is a rare quality for yellow, because yellows usually aren't the selfish ones, it's usually pinks. If you have, ergo, one of the problems people could have with Kijino.
But there's no pink in this one.
No, so
Papillion.
Papillion.
She's purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purple.
Well, that's the bug. Papillion.
Yes. Also, on that note, I guess it's kind of funny. When some friends online introduced me to Miraculous, and the
Ladybug?
Miraculous Ladybug, and
Cat Noir.
the villain was named Hawkmoth, but in France, he's actually Papillion.
Oh, so that's actually a name of a bug?
Yes.
Yeah, butterfly.
Oh.
But I mean, when it's Hawkmoth, look out, he's gonna chew holes in your wardrobe. Everyone run away from Hawkmoth. Oh no! And I still don't know if he's changed. But this is my second encounter with a fictional character that's butterfly themed, and I'm still hoping for the Maniacal Monarch's return at some point.
Well, here's a question though.
So I guess third character.
Because butterfly and moth type creatures have that, not evolution, that metamorphosis.
Yes.
I wonder if that would happen here.
They spend several episodes trapped in a chrysalis and
Yeah.
emerge
Victorious.
victorious, or like Babylon 5 with more hair. You
On that note,
You two would have to watch Babylon 5, you godless heathens.
what did you guys think of episodes 47 and 48? What did you guys think of the trailer for King-Ohger? Are you excited? Are you like, eh? Let us know in the comments. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. You can support me on Kaiju no Kami at at Kaiju no Kami. Wow, Kaiju no Kami at Twitter, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, that other place,
Okay.
Patreon, and then my website, creativitybydesignllc.com. And you can buy cool Kaiju no Kami merchandise.
Are you
at
even sure you know what you're talking
creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. Or there's a link in the description below.
Have you been possessed by what people think Power Rangers talk like?
What do you mean? I'm totally not.
You're gonna
possessed
poke
by
an eye out.
Power Rangers.
Namely mine.
Speaking of which, Hasbro said it's their worst selling toy line.
I can't speak to that. But you can find me at MLP Silver Quill on Twitter, DeviantArt, and the YouTube. And you can also on my YouTube find links to my Patreon and Ko-fi if you wish to support my videos and foster my emotional journey with these two.
Emotional damage.
Okay. I have not treated anyone
On that note,
fairly.
goodbye everyone!